Mystical consciousness is an intentional state of intense, highly sensory awareness that dissolves the veil of thought to reveal the presence of the divine as reality itself. The shift into mystical consciousness has 4 steps. Though the steps are remarkably simple, the art is to fully experience each step. The more you experience, the deeper you go. Before we move into the experience of mystical consciousness, let's get familiar with its nature and then reflect on when you may have spontaneously experienced these steps. Here are the keys that unlock awakened consciousness. Keys to mystical consciousness. Number 1, stop thinking. Because we tend to see only what we think, not what is right before us, quieting the mind is important. Despite what people often say, it's not hard to stop thinking, at least for short periods. For example, when we're focusing sensory perception in a fine motor task, like threading a needle or painting trim, the mind stops its chatter. We can't think about our taxes or a recent family upset without missing the hole or dripping the paint. This kind of sensory focus developed naturally in our evolution as a survival skill. When our ancestors heard a lion growl nearby, thinking automatically stopped. It happens naturally when we shift into the pure sensory perception. Number 2, heighten awareness. In this step, we awaken ourselves as much as possible. We all know how to do this, as when the morning alarm fails to go off and we are suddenly late for work. We tell ourselves, "Wake up," and we move from sleepy to speedy in seconds. Number 3, experience the world exactly as it is. In this step, we focus this pure and intense sensory perception on things around us, and, adding a little awe, begin to witness the extraordinary beauty of creation all around us. Beauty is always here when you really look, and because we are looking directly into God's conscious being, this step further awakens mystical consciousness. Number 4, come into the presence. Finally, we learn to experience the divine presence, which further sanctifies perception. We experience the presence through spiritual practices and in holy places. It can be found in pure consciousness. For the mystics tell us that all consciousness is divine consciousness. To be conscious of consciousness, therefore, is to experience God directly. One of the wonderful things we learn from this practice is the extraordinary beauty and freshness of everyday life. It heals us naturally, because thought-free sensory consciousness is where the divine is found, where wisdom arises naturally, and where our hearts live. It is a taste of heaven on earth, in the presence of loved ones, dancing in the kitchen to the smell of minestrone, and bath time for a 2-year-old. We find divinity spontaneously expressed in everyday life, especially when we cease thinking. We pay full attention and just be. God is in the little things when we're not looking for God.